Hey, this is Taylor. I'm here today to talk to you about this tool I've created for you. It's an assignment 1 testing tool is what I call it. And essentially what it does is it scans through your code and it looks for any errors that you have in your assignment 1. And it looks for things like, have you marked all your fields private? Have you named your fields correctly? And it also kind of looks for simple mistakes that lots of students make that lose them marks. So the idea behind it, hopefully, is that you run it and you know exactly what you're going to get because it's going to tell you everything that you've done wrong. Now, as a note to that, just because it says that you've done something 100% correct doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get that 100%. I tried to make this as accurate as possible, but there might be a couple things that still slip through. So don't just go on this tool. Look through your assignment 1 sheet that Jason and I gave you and follow that as well. Between the two, hopefully you should get 100% in this first assignment. So what I'm going to do in this video is first I'm going to explain to you how you can set up BlueJ to run this tool. Then I'm going to show you how you add this tool to your assignment 1 project. Third, I'm going to show you how you run the tool. And then lastly, I'm going to explain to you how you can interpret the results and fix your errors. Alright, hopefully you find this video useful. Okay, so step 1 of setting up the tools is you have your Lamborghini project right here, as you can see in BlueJ. So what I want to do is you're going to go Tools, Preferences, click Preferences, and then it's going to start an editor. So then you're going to go to Interface, alright, and then Show Unit Testing Tools. See this first one, Show Unit Testing Tools. Make sure that box is checked, and click OK. That's all you need to do to set up BlueJ. It's very easy. Okay, so step 2 of setting this up is you need to add the testing tool to your project. So how we're going to do that is you go to the share drive. Note that if you don't have the share drive mapped, if you haven't set up the share in, share out on your own computer yet, you're going to need to do that. I'm not going to explain how to do that in this tutorial, but in one of the handouts Jason gave explains how you can set this up. So if you have to do that, pause and go set that up and come back. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to Out, find the course, Out, Comp, Comp 1409, Jason, Assignments, Assignment 1, and there we go, Lamborghini test.java. That's all you need. Okay, so then in another window, find where your assignment is saved, where the project is saved. So for me, it's 1409, Spring 2013, Assignment 1, Demo. So what you're going to do is you're going to just drag this in, copy, and click OK. It's not harmful, I promise. Perfect. So now that it's in there, if you have BlueJ open, you're going to have to close it and reopen it. So you close and then reopen that package.bluej file. Just double click. It should open back up. If it doesn't do it this way, just open up BlueJ however you normally open it. And you see now Lamborghini test is added. Perfect. So if we click compile, perfect. Now it's fully added. And you'll know it's added because you see here there's the annotation, bracket bracket unit test bracket bracket, and it's green. If that works, then you know that you've added it correctly. If you don't see this, you have something you haven't set it up properly. So go back to the beginning of the video and follow how to set up BlueJ properly. So luckily, running this tool in BlueJ is incredibly easy, incredibly easy. All you have to do, you see, you right-click Lamborghini test. So you right-click and you click Test All. Make it bigger. See, it runs all the tests that I've created. That's it. So you see here, the project I have created works perfectly. So you'll see a green bar, but as I'll show you in a second, if something is wrong, you won't. So that's how you run all the tests. Now if you wanted to run one individually, say you're getting one wrong constantly, you could just call that test here. There. Okay, so now let's run it when you haven't done things correctly. So I'm going to click, right click, test all. Oh look, so I have a red bar now. Let's make it half screen. So that means I failed something. I failed 2 tests here. So if I click the test that I failed, and you can see that's the test that you failed because there's an X instead of a check mark. So if you click it and look at the test name, test fields have correct modifiers. So that means I failed the test that tests for the correct modifiers, and a modifier is the variable private, public, static, final, any of that. So this is testing to make sure that they're all correct. And so if I look here on this first line, it basically tells it all. So it says your field model name wasn't private, and you will lose a mark for it. You don't have to worry about the rest of this stuff for this one. So that means that you haven't made it private. And if you see here for this one, horsepower. So horsepower does not accept a valid input value of 300. So that means, and if you look, the test name is test constructor sets fields correctly. So basically this means that it's not setting one of your fields correctly, and that means that it's not accepting a value of 300. So if you try it yourself and enter it, you'll see that it's not working and that you need to fix that. And you will actually lose 2 marks for that on your assignment. Okay, so let's fix an error that you have in your assignment. So I'm going to pick test fields have correct modifiers. So let's fix this one. Field model name is not private. So I'm going to open up Lamborghini. And you see here string model name. I've blanked everything else out because I don't want to give away too much of the assignment. String model name. Oh look, it's not private. So now we close, compile. After you make changes, you always have to compile here because you'll have to recompile my test program as well. So right click, test all. Oh look, it still failed. But the message is different, so that means it's past the last one. With my program, it's always only going to show you the first error in the test. Sometimes my test method will test multiple things at the same time, so you have to fix the first thing before moving on to the second thing. So now it's saying field must be named exactly model year. So let's check back in the Lamborghini and fix that second issue. So I'm going to open it up. Oh look, it says it's expecting model year like this, but I have an underscore. That's not right. It should be model year. So this is exactly what it's expecting. And if you see it in quotes, field must be named exactly model year. If you have model underscore year, year of model, anything like that, no, that's wrong. It has to be model year. So we fix that. So that's fixed. And I'm going to recompile. Test. Oh look, it failed again. See? Field manufacturer is not marked constant. So that means that it's not a constant variable. It's not final. So let's go in. Final. Close, compile, right click, test all. Hey, look at that. Test fields have correct modifiers as passed. That means that section is now complete. But I still have to fix this. So I'm not going to fix this. I'm going to let you guys go and work on it now. Actually, before I let you go, I wanted to highlight one more thing for you. So one error you may see, and you may kind of scratch your head about if you test all, is something like with print lines, or anything to do with printing, or anything to do with strings. So remember, in the assignment it says the strings have to be exactly what we want it to be. So for example, if you see something like constructor does not output the correct error string when an empty string is passed into the model name. So think about that for a second. That means it's not printing, it has to print out something if you pass in an empty string. It says on the bottom of the second page, it has to print out something. But it's not printing it out exactly the way we want it. So with something like this, you're actually going to need to look at the next line, and then you'll see it expected not provided sorry, and whatever it was before that. But it actually got not provided sorry, and you see the difference is whatever's in the square brackets here. So you see there's a period, which means it was expecting not provided sorry, but you gave it not provided sorry with a period at the end, and that's wrong. So if we open it up, see, the system out print line, a model name was not provided, sorry. So if I get rid of the period here, close, recompile, test, there we go, that fixed it. So you may get some of that. Remember, the strings have to match exactly what we tell you to. No changes whatsoever. Alright? So good luck running it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I would like you to encourage working with one another in fixing the errors instead of emailing me directly, because I don't want to interpret all the results for you. I want you to interpret the results yourself. But if something is really scratching your head, or you think that there is an error somewhere in my testing tool, feel free to send me an email. I think most of you guys have it by now, but it's taylor.t.dixon@gmail.com. Alright, good luck with the tool.